Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a brand new vlog. Today's vlog is going to be a day of eating for a cross-country skier on a normal training day. This training day is going to just be sort of a normal, easy volume day, so probably won't be eating as much as if it was a race or something like that, but I might even go out for dinner tonight, so that'll be kind of crazy. But we're going to start with breakfast. So I've eaten oatmeal for breakfast for basically the last 10 years. So we got the Norwegian Your Kraft, which I think means your power or something. So we're going to start with, a little bowl of power in the morning. So I just kind of eyeball it. I've never really measured, my oatmeal. That's feeling about right if you want to check that out. Nice, right? So then, step 2. We're going to go with the soy milk. And I've been dairy-free for the most part for a while now, at least when I can have really easy control of it, like with this. Soy milk, I think, is the best of the alternatives because it still has protein. So we're gonna just fill that up. The amount is important here. This is another eyeball it situation. But when you've done it as long as me, you kind of just, you can just tell. So let's see. Yeah, that looks pretty good. If, it's foamy because it was the end of the bottle. So, but this is a new thing I've been doing. This is some vanilla whey protein powder, Norwegian formula. And I think to get that extra little bit of protein, rather than using yogurt or cottage cheese like I used to, I've been finding it more enjoyable to just use vanilla protein powder. And probably has more protein anyways. So I just kind of dump a little bit of this in there, like so. And then usually if I'm thinking it looks a little dry at this point, I'm just going to add a little dab of water just so that I know that the protein powder is going to, mix in. Now we have the banana. This is a really good, tasty treat in the morning to add into the oatmeal. So I'm going to just use a spoon here to dice it up, put it in the bowl. Boom, boom, boom. Beautiful. Bowl's starting to get pretty close to the top here, but that is how I like it. Next we're going to go for the salt, not too much, but a little dab, just to bring out the natural flavor of the oat. Almost last but not least, we're going to go for the blueberries, frozen in this case. Can be fresh too, but the frozen ones are a little bit easier to deal with. And then, truly last but not least, now we have honey. Maple syrup probably is an even better alternative, but honey is a little bit easier to get your hands on, especially in Norway, it feels like. So we're gonna just go for a couple spirals here. Perfect. And then, this is what it's looking like at this point. Now, I don't use a stovetop or a microwave because I don't want to deal with the stovetop. It just takes forever and then you have to clean a pot, and we don't have a microwave in Norway. So what I do is I just eat it cold. When you're using quick oats, it absorbs the milk really quickly, so you don't actually need to cook it. That's the little known hack of the day. So as long as you just use enough milk and let it sit for like 2-3 minutes, which it has been by now because I'm, adding all these ingredients after the milk, you're gonna be completely good to go. After stirring, it looks like this. Just your standard overnight oats, basically, in 3 minutes. I think it tastes actually really good when it's cold. It sort of wakes you up. I think back to my childhood when I would be taking the school bus at 7:15 a.m. and have to slam down my Hot Pocket for breakfast at 6:55 a.m. I feel like there was something about that warm food that just made me want to go straight back to bed. But this cold, tasty food, it just wakes you up with a jolt. And so I really like it. Every morning I look forward to this. I jump out of bed. So there's breakfast. Breakfast with a view. What's up, y'all? I'm out here on a little hike with poles in the beautiful Norwegian woods. Oh, it's really nice. Got the Rossi running vest on. Let's see, I'll show you what I got in the vest here. We got, of course, the Seigemann bag. Those are those gummy candies that I was showing you in my last vlog. And then naturally, I got some goo. Boom. And I try to have around 6 to 8 gummy candies every 30 minutes, or at least one of these guys every 30 minutes. So aiming for 60 grams of carbs per hour. It gets more important as you run longer, obviously. If you're doing 3-4 hours, it's even more important, but just absolutely loving the woods here. So I'm gonna just keep going here. Up the hill we go. Post run, going for the GU protein recovery drink mix. 20 grams of protein and 30 grams of carbs directly after the run. It's a pretty hot one, hot and sunny, so this has a little bit of electrolytes too. So I go for 2 scoops of this into the old shaker bottle. And even though I'm about to have lunch right after this, I still really like to get the protein shake in just to get something really quick and drinkable. And it's just nice too. I feel like I really look forward to it when I come in the door, so cheers. Well, while I was out running, I was wondering what am I gonna have for lunch? And then I come back and my lovely wife Julie has created an entree from scratch. We got noodles, meat, salsa, and a little egg ham sandwich. So thank you so much. I used to be a really big afternoon coffee guy, but lately I have been sort of just having it with breakfast. I don't know if it's because I think it helps me sleep better or what, but I just have this sort of idea that I should probably limit the amount of caffeine I have, especially when my gels have caffeine. So it's just water. Shout out to Ben Ogden. I just realized this time lapse probably won't work very well because I have this thing where I chew my food way more than almost anybody I've ever met. Each bite of this sandwich, for example, I've counted, I chew on average about 50 to 100 times. And I don't know why, it's just like my body doesn't let me swallow it until I've chewed that much. So it makes it hard to go out to eat with people who eat quickly. You already know dessert is a must. So I'm going for the Freja Kvikk Lunsj Melke Chokolade. Is it good pronunciation?
No.
Lately, I've been really crazy about Kim's. It's this Norwegian chips brand, and they're really good. You know, it's not like it's a staple of my diet, but sometimes when I'm sitting on the couch and a little bit hungry, I like to just eat some Kim's. Soon going out for a second workout. Gonna do a little short gravel bike, and I am making some toast. I'll probably put some jam on it, and that's gonna be a nice carb-heavy snack right before the second workout of the day. Out biking again, this time in the Team Berkey kit, but right now I'm gravel biking. Kind of nice, you don't have to deal with any traffic, even though it's a Saturday, so there probably wouldn't be any, but still hilly as ever. 18 minutes in, and I've climbed 700 feet. It's just straight uphill here. Whew. Finished up the nice gravel ride and had another GU protein shake with an RX bar afterwards, having this nice little ginger soda as well. And then Julie and I are catching the train right now because we are going to dinner with Julie's family in downtown Oslo. So that'll be kind of a treat for the kid from Minneapolis. Here's the train. Well, it is the morning after that crazy dinner, and I think this is pretty much going to wrap this vlog up. I don't know if it'll be a little bit of a shorter one, but that dinner was absolutely crazy. That was 8 courses, each of which was like some of the most ridiculously rich and unique food that I've ever eaten. So that was a really cool experience. Shout out to Julie's family for taking us. Let me know if you have any tips for foods I should try or, you know, what you think of my meals. But thanks for watching, and like, subscribe. See you next time.